Hey everyone, this is the next video in the series about WireMock tutorial. So far we have seen stubbing, verification, request and all the theories around WireMock, right? So if I show you the project, this one, this diagram you are already aware of, right? So this is the controller and this is the service, this is the gateway, this is contacting this HTTP API, right? In real scenario when it is running in production, but for testing, writing the unit test cases or integration test cases, actually it is doing the wire using the WireMock server. And if you remember the theory part when I have explained about the WireMock, so WireMock comes in two flavors, as a JVM library, or second one is as a standalone server. So far we are using this JVM library as a running WireMock servers where I am mocking our request to fulfill the complete thing, to complete this call, right? So this video I am going to show you about standalone server, how you can start WireMock standalone server and what are the things that we can do with the standalone server, right? So we are you see we are slowly moving towards the production like feature, right? So when it is JVM, JVM WireMock as a JVM library, it's a little far from the production, but when you are running it as a standalone API, when it is running as a standalone server, you are actually hitting a server. That is a mock server, that is another thing, but you are hitting a particular server which is I mean your request is traveling through a network, all right? So so the benefit of this is that you are not actually calling the actual API, so you are saving yourself the money that it is charging, the actual network failure, and this standalone server is running at your own machine or in your in-house machine, in your in-house server, right? So that those are the failures that have less chances to come. That is why standalone server are very much useful to write the end-to-end testing as well as unit testing, right? So that we can use it as per our own convenience, right? So let me show you how we can start the standalone server and how we can make use of this, right? This is the WireMock documentation, and you have to come to this page, docs, running standalone, and here is the link for that. So I have to download a library from here. So here I'm going here. So if you click here, you will get this one, right? So WireMock is standalone jar. So I already have downloaded it, so I'm just canceling it, right? So how to start it? They have given it. So it's a Java jar artifact, and how to run this? They have given the command. It's the usual way, right? So I already have downloaded it at this location, right? So let me open the command prompt here, and to start this java hyphen jar and this one. So this is the command that I have to give, and it is going to start give me the this WireMock standalone server, right? So you see the port where it is running 8018, and here is the different configuration about this WireMock, right? So when you started this server, and if I coming back here, it has created two folders, mappings and files. And let me show you the significance of this mappings folder is, so you remember the test cases that we wrote from the previous videos. So we were doing the stubbing in the test class itself, right? So this kind of, so this is the Java way of writing the stubbing, right? So when the request is coming going to payments, and with this request body, it is returning this JSON, right? So now when our standalone server is running, I can write this thing that is here with the request body. I can write it as a JSON file here and make use of this one, right? So let me show you how we can do this. And when you start your WireMock server this way, there you have different options that you can make use of. By default, your server is running on port 8080, but by giving this option double hyphen port, you can change the port where it is running, right? So and when you pass it 0, it is dynamically going to pick the available port that is available in your machine. And these are the different other options that we will make use of in the further videos, right? But for now the default configuration is okay for me, right? So coming to localhost 8080 here. So yeah, here not this one, but here I have this admin, not the recorder now, mappings, right? So if I come here, mappings, so here it is showing me that mappings are, so what basically it is going to give me, this mappings entry is going to give me all the mappings, all the stubbing that we have put here under this folder, right? So let me put one mapping there and show you. This is the notepad and this is here. So this is the request, this is the sample mapping, extremely simple. Request, this is the method, get, and this is the URL, and basically it is saying when the request is for this URL api.my/mytest and it is of get type, you respond with this status 200 and give the body anything that you like. Hello there, I want this text to be printed when this request is coming. And when before giving this, if I hit this one, coming to localhost here, and if I hit this API my test here, it is not going to return me anything because it doesn't exist. So when it executed, it says no response could be served where there are no stub mappings in the warmock. So our standalone server is just running now. There are no mappings here. So let me put some mapping. So we have this here. So save this file at the same location where our stub is here. So here is the location where we have. So keep it test dot. So remember we have to have the JSON extension, right? So test.json, I'm keeping it here. So when you keep it here, you just have to restart your server. Just restart the server and now hit this API again. API my test, right? So I got this hello there response, right? And when I come here and also when I hit this again now, so I'm getting the mapping here, right? So when I hit the mappings again, I can get this one, right? So under mapping, so mapping is a list. It is giving me the list of mappings, right? So it has created one mapping. So it is going to maintain the ID with respect to each stubbing that we have done. Stubbing means the request, when this request is coming, respond with this status, right? And it is going also going to maintain this UUID for each mapping. So these ID and UUID are the metadata kind of things, right? And the after coming out of this one, this list, it is again going to maintain this meta total. So how many mappings are there with our warmock standalone server, right? So the total there are one mapping, right? So if I going to, if I want to make more mappings like this, I can just go ahead and edit this and I can say that it's like this, and I can say hello API, right? So if I save this, if I save this and hit this again, it is not going to give me that data that we just edited. You have to restart your server when you are adding more file into the mappings folder, right? So that it can when while starting the server it can pick from there, right? And if you want to get the more information when while running the option, I can give this option verbose to, so that when it is running it can give me more information about this, right? So when I hit this again, I'll get the two mappings, right? So first one is this one API my test and this is the API. And now if I go back this API and I get this hello API, second mapping, and API at the same time API my test is also working, right? And if I show you here, you get the when you started your server with the verbose option, you get the more logging here, right? So the requests that are being served from your Wiremock server, you get all the logging here, right? So matched response definition, this one you got this one. What is the request that I have made? Get API my test, and these are things that has happened to the server. And status 200 hello there is responded with this one, right? So this is how, this is the get request, simple get request. I can make the post request, delete request, put request, anything that I want, right? So This is the single request stubbing with the standalone server. What about the multiple stubbing that I want, if I want to do that? So if I want to do the multiple stubbing in the same file, so this is the sample content that we can give, right? So this is the mappings part, and this is the request method get, and this is the URL /1 that it is going to mock for status 200. There is no content coming here. And if I want to give some content here, I'll just so this is just this is simple JSON, right? So you just have to put the data status and body. So multiple stubbing demo one, right? And more content goes here, right? So these are things that so status by default it is going to the pick 200 status, but we can give it explicitly to make it more readable. So we are just giving it ID, this one, and this is the mapping. So see, ID is also optional, right? So with this request, I am giving this ID. With this request, I am not giving ID, right? With this first mapping, I am not giving any ID. So it is dynamically going to generate that. When I am giving it, it is just going to maintain that. And the main benefit is when you are going to modify the existing mapping that is with this UID, you can modify that, right? That's one benefit when you're giving the ID. But I do not want that kind of thing. I have just this data, two requests in the same file, means multiple stubbing. I'm just going to save it. So I have to save it in the same folder, in the mappings folder that where our server is running, from where it can pick multiple stub. Oh no, I saved it as .text. So I just have to rename it and make it JSON. That's cool. That's JSON. And just restart your server so that it can read that new file. Yeah, so it's running. So server is running now, coming here. So what was, so the existing files that are there, they are going to work perfectly fine, right? So just to show you. And now coming to one, so this is the new one, multiple stubbing demo 1 2. And if I get 2 here, so yeah, more content goes here, right? So multiple stubbing is, in this way we can do the multiple stubbing as well, right? This is the one way of stubbing, that I can keep the JSON file in the mappings folder, and the server while starting it can pick there. But there can be the scenario as well where your server the server is in running mode, and at the runtime I need to add some stubbing at the runtime only. When server is going down, it can just clean things up, right? So I just want some stubbing at runtime. How we can do that? So there are APIs exposed by WireMock server which we can use to post the runtime stubbing that we need, right? So let's see how we can do that. So I have to open the Postman for that to make the post request. So this is the Postman, and this is the API called admin mappings, and this has to be the post request. And under body I have to mention the JSON format, admin mappings, post request. And here I have to put the content in the same way that we have given here, right? So I can keep it, I can give this one, or other as to consider the new example, I am going to give this one. So this is the request method get, and this is the URL format, and this is the response, and this is the status. Under response we have status 200, and now we have JSON body object that is being converted to JSON. Actually JSON object I have as a response. So far I was just giving a string as a body, and when you have JSON object you just have to give it JSON body, right? So if I place this new test.json under mappings folder, it is going to work perfectly fine. But this time I want this to be executed from the at runtime, right? So this is how I want to give it. So just do some changes here. I can give it so this has to be same as payment ID. That doesn't necessary, but just to make things in sync, I'm just giving it, right? So copy this one and put it here, and body post format, and this is all that I need. Just post it, and 201 created. It has given me the detail, right? So it has given me the details that request is this one, response is this one, and for this UID this is being created. And now if I go and make the get request, this admin mapping, so it is going to give me the all the mappings that it has, right? So if I come here under mappings, I have total 6 mapping, right? So the all the mappings that it is showing you the all the mappings, whether it is a JSON file or at the runtime, that is there, right? So if I come at last, multiple stubbing demo, more content, and this is the payment ID status that is here, right? So this is the new entry that we just created, right? So if I go here and hit this not the 331, but yeah, so this is present from the previous hit. I just have to hit this one. This is this is the entry that we just created, right? So if I hit this get one, I'll get this payment ID and response status. This is the entry that we added at runtime, right? So if I come here, it is also giving me that this master response definition is coming here, and if I do changes anything here, it is not going to give me anything, right? So the request was not matched. It is also showing you, it is going to show you the error logs the same way that it was showing in the as the JVM library. So closest stub is this one, but you requested for this one, so it is not matching, so it is not returning anything, right? So the stubs that you have created as a runtime, when I stop this server, it is going to delete that one, right? So if I restart this one, at the runtime stubbing that we created, that is not going to be there, right? So now if I go here under mapping section, earlier it was 6, now I should have 5. Total 5 requests are here, right? So and now if I come here and remove this one and try to get this, so it is not showing me. So payment details, it is already there. So for payment details, I added one. So this new test JSON file was already present there. If I open it, so here it is coming. So payment details 33, it is coming from there. So the usual way, by keeping the files, right? So these are the things that we are doing from the Postman. So next thing is how many such APIs are there with the JSON, with the WireMock server that we can interact with, right? So let me show you that. So Swagger is the best option to see it. So WireMock provides that as well. So I just have to give it admin and docs, right? So if I hit this one, I'll get this Open API and Swagger UI. So both of the option, let's see what are here. So this is the Swagger UI that is here, but this is the actual Swagger. So this is the Swagger doc, all the APIs that are here, but the nice user interface is here. So admin mappings that we were showing from the URL and all those things. So try it out. If I come here, so I can give the limit here as well, how many things I want. By default, it is going to give you all the things. So if I come here, it is giving me all the mappings that are there, but if I limit it to return me only 2 mappings, so it is going to give me the first 2 mappings only, right? So the way I want, I can interact with this I can interact with the WireMock server with this Swagger API, right? So if I show you the other APIs here, admin mappings are here. So delete all stub mapping. If I hit this one, it is going to delete all the mappings. It is going to delete all the files, and you can go ahead and play around with these. So these are the self-explanatory. So stubbing mapping ID is the mapping ID with this one. So if I show you this one, this is the ID, that it is expecting, right? So if I come here, delete mapping, stubbing mapping ID. So if you give it the particular ID, it is going to delete that one. So these are the request, response, recordings, start, stop, scenarios, and all those systems. All these things are here. So this is the just Swagger UI documenting all the APIs that are with the WireMock server, right? So one place to look around and play around with all the APIs. The last topic in Marmok server I want to show about the recording. So how we can record the request and response of a running website that is in production, or I can say that the any third party API that we are using in our in our service, how we can create the automatic stubbing of that one, right? So there is one API for that as well. So if I this is the URL admin recorded. So if I hit this, I'll get this one, right? So I can use this one to record a website. So what I meant by that, so this is the pluralsight.com website, uh, which is there. I want to record the request. I want to create the stubbing of the request and response of this website, right? So how I can do this? So copy this URL here and paste it under the target URL and start the recording, right? So that's it. Now I have to hit this one through this our WireMock server that we have, right? So how, what I meant by this, so we have this localhost 8080, hit this one. Now the localhost 8080 we are hitting it here, right? So it is hitting our WireMock server, and WireMock server is configured to hit this pluralsight.com from the back so that it can record all the request and response. So now localhost 8080 has served all the response here, right? If I show you this URL, right? So if I stop this, yes, when I stop this, it has captured three stub mappings. So where these mappings are stored, let me show you that. So in the same mappings folder that is here, so three mappings are here. So all these files, the four files were already that we manually created, and these are the automatically created stubs. So let me open this first one. So this is the file, right? So this is the URL, this is the get one, and this is the status 304 that it has made, right? And coming, if I open this one, yeah, so it had some data. So it has made this URL, this is the request that it has made, and this is the response status 200 base 64 body it has written along with this header, right? So this is how we can create the mappings automatically for any website or any URL that we are doing, right? So what is the main benefit of this one, right? So we have stub mappings stored, right? So and this URL ready, right? So as of now our internet is working. Let me stop that one. So see, internet is working. Let me stop this one. I'm going to airplane mode so that no Wi-Fi is here, right? So now let me hit this again, localhost 8080, right? So I'm hitting this again. Yeah, I'm getting the same response, right? This is the response that is being served by the stubs that we just stored, right? Now if I click any URL here, it is not if I hit any URL that is JavaScript here, it is not going to give me anything because this is not stored with the this is not in the stub mapping that we have under the mappings, but the home page, of the plural site, it is with us under the mappings. That is why I'm able to access it without any internet, right? So this is how we can do the recordings of the websites. And this is going to be this is, if I show you our project diagram, so this is going to be very useful when we have this pay money running, and I want to make the recording of the request and response in the real time. So for a single request, I can make the single request to this pay money with the request that it is happening, and now it is going to create the all the mappings automatically for us under the mappings folder, which we can use to do the further testing, right? So this is all about this video, that is the WireMock standalone server and how we can add the mapping record and how we can interact it. In the next video, I'm going to show you how we can make use of this one to test our service, our ticket booking payment service, how we can make use of this Wiremock standalone server, right? So till then you play around with this Wiremock server, and to get the more information you can always hit the official documentation of the, that is the best place to go, right, to get the latest information if you're stuck anywhere. And you can also put the comment section, you can also put your queries in the comment section. I'll be happy to help you, all right? So I'll see you in the next video with the next part, that is this request proxy, request recording, and all these topics, right? So till then, take care. Bye bye.